Hello, spooky friends, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with the Scariest podcast.
Woo!
I'm Robin Grace, this is Adam Diaz.
Hello.
And today we're here to read you folks some more homegrown horror.
Homegrown horror?
Homegrown horror. So why don't you tell us what that is?
Homegrown horrors are the wonderful stories that you folks, well, not necessarily wonderful, but the stories that you folks, listeners and viewers, have sent to us to share on the show. And in most cases, they're spooky, spiritual, supernatural, paranormal, sometimes true crime, sometimes just coincidental. We got scared and it was actually nothing. Sometimes extraterrestrial in nature. Robin, for folks who had a story like that, where could they send it to?
You can send it to our email, storytime@scariest.com. You can also go to our website, which is scariest.com, and fill out the contact us form there, and it gets sent to us that way.
Indeed. Yeah, so if you have a story like that, we would love for you to send it to us. We would love to share it with the spooky audience. And if you have a story you'd like to share with us, but don't want it shared, you just want to tell someone, absolutely send those too. We are here to listen. That's no problem for us. We're not like medical professionals and like the psychological industry or anything.
No.
I know those aren't any of the terms they use. That's how you can tell we're not any of those things. But we're here to listen sometimes. So we'll definitely write you back. And it is us handling all the social media accounts and our email address. So if you feel like reaching out, we'll be there. Last thing to say before we dive into some stories is this is the last episode for January Patreon push. I can just feel Robin getting annoyed. So head over to patreon.com/scariestpodcast and check out our Patreon. Donations are monthly. They sincerely help the show. They help us buy things like microphones, pay our hosting fees, and bring the show to a wider audience. Sometimes we actually do ad campaigns. I think we've only ever done it twice. But it is nice to be able to do those things, and most importantly, to invest back into the show with a lot of the merchandise that Robin actually makes and sends out to anyone that's a $10 tier or above patron. So head on over there. They start as low as $1. That's only 4 quarters, people. It's less than a Snickers bar and a vending machine. It's less than a can of soda. Yeah, it would be so nice if you could do that for us. We would appreciate it. Once we get to 150 patrons, we are going to book a night and record an episode in the Stanley Hotel. So we're very excited to get to that goal. Pretty excited. You're looking at me like you're not that excited about it.
I'm super excited. I'm trying to think of what topic I would cover if we went to the Stanley Hotel.
No, I just want to record stuff about the Stanley Hotel. I know we already did it.
Yeah.
But it's like live from the Stanley Hotel is like scary-ish. So we wouldn't have to really do a topic. We could just like go on the tour, describe our stay, stuff like that. So it would be a really good time. So yeah, please head over to patreon.com/scariestpodcast and sign up right now. Just, sign up. No big deal. So, all right, we're going to have 4 wonderful stories for you folks tonight. I'm going to be reading 2. Robin's going to be reading 2.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first?
No, I'll go first. I'm going to start with a short one. All
okay,
right.
Robin's starting with a short one. Everyone settle in. Here we go.
All right, so this first email, it's going to be titled, well, it is titled in the subject. It's Texas Family Haunting.
Nice. That sounds like a horror movie.
It does sound like a horror movie. It begins, "Hello, spooky compadres."
Hello.
Hello. First time writer, found the show sometime last year, and I've been trying to catch up. My name's John, and I have a long-ish story. I have an aunt that lives in South Texas, and growing up, we had cousins who would visit her house and claim that it was haunted.
Interesting.
Stories within the family would consist of hearing footsteps, seeing ghostly shadows, and always feeling like someone was behind you. As kids, we loved hearing the stories, but when our grandmother, who was one of the most innocent and religious souls around, came back with her own story, things got real. She said she was helping out and folding towels in the master bedroom and looked next to her and saw someone smiling back at her, mimicking her folding towels.
That's terrifying.
That's super terrifying. She said she wasn't bothered by it and kept working. What's a ghost when you have too many dishes, right? It's fucking funny. The idea that someone is mimicking you freaks me out. Like, there's an episode of Doctor Who where I forget what it's called.
Are they on the train?
They're on that train.
Yeah, that episode's fucking
And they're
creepy,
driving,
man.
or the train's going through like the crystal fields or whatever. And this entity gets on board and starts mimicking people.
And at first it mimics the doctor, but it's slower than him. Like everything he does, it does like 5 seconds later.
And then it starts
closing the time gap, so it's like almost immediate.
It's scary.
Once it catches up, then it's in control of you.
Yeah.
Such a terrifying concept. Yeah.
Anyway, many years later, we had a small reunion at my aunt's house, and by that time, I had forgotten any stories about ghosts until my sisters and cousins brought it up and decided they were going to try and bring it out.
Nope. Why?
Dumbasses is what it says in the email.
Why though?
Well, next to the master bedroom is where we slept. There was a thin sliding door between the ghost and my sanity. What? I stayed in the room while everyone went into the master bedroom and started calling to the ghost. I could hear everything clear as day and soon heard everyone running out as the printer in the room went off on its own.
Wow.
They checked if anything was written, but it was gibberish. No autocorrect on printer, which makes sense. Printers can't correct things. Or can they?
No.
Maybe there's technology out there.
I don't think they can.
I drew the short straw and had to sleep next to that sliding door. I didn't sleep at all that night and was awake with my eyes closed. I didn't hear anything else that night, but that's a good thing. That is a good thing. I'd be so scared if I kept hearing things from that other room. Like,
right.
Nope.
Sometimes I worry that, I shouldn't say worry. Sometimes I wonder if a ghost has ever tried to wake me up in my sleep. Like, I'm going to do something freaky and he's going to wake up and I just sleep right through it. And they're like, damn it, wake up. And I'm just so tired that I just sleep right through everything.
Much later, my aunt lived across the street from a busy freeway, and one day there was a bad wreck with a motorcycle, and the poor guy was decapitated.
I've heard a lot of stories about crashes with people on motorcycles, and I've heard my fair share of people, like, literally being decapitated in motorcycle accidents.
I've had a lot of stories told of bad motorcycle accidents where around areas that I've lived in. Anyway, his body and head fell right in my aunt's yard.
What the fuck? That so terrifying.
Terrifying. Yeah, no one's been back to the house, but she still lives there. Sorry, so long, or any errors, blame iPhone. No, thank you so much for your email. That is scary.
Fucked up.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We live right off of a road. If there were an accident and someone flew into our yard, I would freak out.
I know. Can you imagine going outside and finding a head in the backyard? Our dogs would grab that thing and bring it to us. And I'd be like,
no.
Did you kill someone?
Oh my God, no. Nope.
Just terrifying.
Yeah, but thank you so much.
Sucks that you drew the short straw and you had to sleep next to the sliding door. But hey, I'm glad things went well for you. So
yeah, thanks.
Good way to start the show. All right, so I'm going to move into my first email of the show. And this subject is creepy pest control man. Seems kind of judgy. And it starts out like this. Hello, Robin and Adam.
Hello.
Hello, what's up? This just happened, so it's fresh in all caps. It was a day like any other.
Oh my God. Okay.
I was on my way to pick up my son from school. I was driving through the neighborhood near the school when I noticed the truck behind me was following me. Side note, which we do this a lot, we had someone in front of us that seemed to be going the same place as us, and I asked Robin at some point, like, do you think they think we're following them? Because it was just like every turn we were behind them over and over. So
I get paranoid too. I get paranoid when there's a car behind me.
Yeah, me too.
And it follows me into the subdivision, and then it follows me down the street, and then I'm like, fuck.
So let's read on in this email and see like what the nightmare scenario actually would be. I did a few test turns without using my turn signals. Once I confirmed that this guy was indeed following me, I was freaking the fuck out. It's a neighborhood with lots of cul-de-sacs, so I was trying not to trap myself. I called my not boyfriend, in parentheses, hands-free, thanks technology, and told him what was going on. I find it interesting that you call them your not boyfriend. You could call them so many other things.
My friend.
Friend would work.
Unless, I mean, some people are sticklers, like, it's a guy friend. He's not my boyfriend.
Right.
Because a lot of the time people are like, oh, you hang out with a guy? What are you, is he your
Some
boyfriend?
dudes are like, am I your boyfriend now? Well, what do you think? Are we together now? It's like, no, you're not my boyfriend. So maybe that's why. Anyways.
Stop pressuring women.
I'm not pressuring women at all.
No, I'm just saying in general, people need to stop pressuring
Oh, yeah. If you get assigned the label of a not boyfriend, then, I mean, back the fuck off. The email goes on. He told me to start driving toward the police station. That is good advice. I was nowhere near the police station, and I had to pick up my kid by 6. His next suggestion was to drive to the school and run inside and tell someone that I was being followed. I couldn't do that. I can't go inside the school. Thanks, COVID. So after a few minutes of trying to lose this guy in the neighborhood, he's waving at me out the window and honking his horn.
Oh,
I
God.
flipped him off.
Oh, I want to know
man.
why. Well, this guy's following them for a reason. Like your gas tank is open or your trunk is open or something like that.
If I've learned anything from this show, it's that the murderer is in the back seat of the car and this person's trying to warn you.
Oh,
I'm wondering. We'll find out. I'll pause for a moment to say that I have a brake light out. I'm aware of it, but why would he be this dedicated to telling me I have a brake light out? I'll also mention that I have a lot of driving anxiety, so this definitely won't help with that. So I make my way to the main road. I stopped trying to turn into traffic safely, but also hopefully put another car between us.
All right.
He's still waving and honking aggressively. I'm still on the phone telling my boyfriend, I'm still on the phone telling my not boyfriend what is happening.
They're probably like, we're trying to reach you about your car's
extended warranty. That's good. I turn onto the main road and then again at the intersection. This guy does not take the hint. He's still following me and I change lanes several times. So just to pop out of the store really fast, call the police. Yeah. Tell them exactly where you are. Tell them the car that's following you and try and get the license plate and they will come after that car.
I've been in a car with my friend who has called the police and been like, this car is real sketchy. They're swerving back and forth. And so he calls the police and the police are like, give us, all the information you can. And then they say like, follow at a safe distance or whatever. It was the opposite, obviously. It was not,
So you were following them.
Yeah, because they were being like, driving like they were drunk.
So at the end of this email, it's going to turn out to be Robin.
Shut up.
So, still following. I'm driving, headed toward the loop, in parentheses, local intercity highway nickname. I'm in the far left lane and now he's driving right next to me. We are stopped at a red light and he's right next to me yelling. I think I heard him say that I ran several stop signs. In parentheses, of course I did. Creepy man was following me. My not boyfriend told me to just listen and focus on him, look straight ahead and not make eye contact with the guy. So that's just what I did. Eventually he drove off and I continued talking to my not boyfriend as I drive back to my son's school. It was so scary-ish, but I thought it would be worthwhile to write into you guys. These are good things to keep in mind if you find yourself in a situation in which you are being followed. Start driving to your local police station.
Which is smart.
Hopefully the creep following you will take the hint and leave you alone, and if not, you're at a building filled with police officers. Drive to a well-populated area and run inside to tell someone you're being followed. And lastly, I know this isn't from your podcast, fuck politeness. That is
That's from My Favorite Murder.
100% endorsed. Even if this creep was trying to tell me about my brake light or something, fuck him. I already know. You are not obliged to humor someone by rolling down your window to talk to them. I'll end with this, and I'll leave it to your discretion whether you want to say this on the pod. He was driving a company car, and they leave the name of the company, which I will leave out. It is in Lubbock, Texas, though. A lot of stuff from Texas this week.
Yeah.
This was a bit long. Thank you for reading. I love your pod so much. Stay sexy and keep on creeping on. They mixed the My Favorite Murder ones and ours. That's very nice. Much love, Elizabeth. Well, thank you for sending that in, Elizabeth.
If My Favorite Murder ever wanted to work with us, I swear I would shit my pants.
I was just like, my literal thought when you said that, I was like, I'd shit my pants.
Oh my God. I would be like, oh my God, hold on. Karen, Georgia, I gotta go wipe my butt real quick.
I would not call them Karen and Georgia. I would
be
like, Mrs. Hardstark. Like, I would not have the balls to call them Karen and Georgia until they told me I could. So, yeah.
Dude, yeah. Oh, God.
Here's what I will say about your incident. Is that I totally understand the idea that if someone's following me, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
I am so morbidly curious as to why they were following or why someone would follow. If they're trying to yell, I would be like, what the fuck do you want?
Yeah, but see, that's because you're more of like a straightforward person.
Yeah.
But as a woman who is not very strong,
You're strong. Strong-willed.
Well, I tried to push the stupid bar.
She tried to do a bench press the other day. It's 40 pounds.
Just the bar. And my hands were like...
They were wobbly, but they got it there. It's funny. She says she's not strong, but when she strikes me, it hurts. Just saying, so.
But, you can't do that. It's too scary. For me, it's too scary to be like, what do you want? If someone, got mad at me for the way I was driving and was trying to yell at me, I just stare forward in my car and just ignore them if they pull up next to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you stopped at the place and the guy's yelling you ran several stop signs, it's like, are you the fucking police? Go away. Maybe you cut him off and he was having a bad day and he decided to follow you and scream at you. But, my sincere advice to anyone in this situation, I would
call the cops, yeah.
Call the fucking cops. The dispatcher will stay on the phone with you.
I think it's smart to just drive to the police station.
It's a really good idea,
the thing is, not everybody knows where a police station is. Yeah. I don't know where our local police station is.
So you just call up the cops. You say, hey, someone's following me right now. I don't know what the hell their deal is. They're in a white van. It has this name on the side of it. Then the cops are going to contact that, local business and be like, hey, do you have a fucking driver harassing citizens? Yeah. And, that's going to be bad for them. So,
yeah, I would definitely report that.
Absolutely.
If you know so much, that much information about a car and that's doing that to you, I would definitely report it. You should absolutely
reach out to that company, too. Yeah. And be like, hey, one of your drivers was harassing me on the road and following me like a lunatic. Also, I wrote into a podcast and they're going to talk about it. So that's some really bad fucking
I reported it to the police, so you should expect that.
Yeah, that too. Police are probably more important. But yeah.
thank you for sending that in, and we're glad that you're safe and nothing bad happened. Yeah. It reminds me of that other story that we got from, I think, Cat Beatrix that sent it in, where someone followed her into the apartment complex. And that happens, and it's scary.
That's when it happened. We were following someone into the gated community our friend lives in, because they were putting in the gate code, and the gate opens and stays open for like 20 seconds. So we didn't stop to put in the gate code because the gate was already open. So we were like driving to our friend's house and realizing they were taking all the same turns as us. And I was like, do you think they think we're following them? So I was just like, put your turn signal on super early as the person in the back.
I try to do that.
So they can make a getaway.
Yeah, if I'm following a car for way too long, I'm just like, oh no, I'm going to make sure you know I have plans before you make your move.
I put my turn signal on before they do so. But anyways, thank you so much for sending that in. Definitely thought-provoking. Good stuff.
Yeah. Stay sexy and keep on creeping on. Man.
It's pretty good.
It's
a good mashup.
Karen, Georgia, if you'd like to work together, please hit us up.
Absolutely.
We love you.
You guys are awesome. We've seen you live.
We have seen them live.
Yeah, 100%.
That is the only podcast I've ever seen live.
On International Women's Day, right? Or was it National Women's Day?
Was it National? Yes, it was. It was
certainly Women's Day. I just don't know if it was
because
national
that's why
or
they picked a woman to tell the homegrown horror or whatever.
And at the end, they played their song, and then they were like, "Who runs the world? Girls!" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So into it. Some guy yelled out in the middle of the show. Remember that?
Well,
and they were just like, "Thank you, random stranger in the audience, for screaming at me."
I think it's because they were trying to give her a compliment.
But it's like, she doesn't need your
she doesn't need your
dude.
Yeah.
Shut up. It's a rhetorical thing. She's coming out. They're going to
let them do their show.
Yeah, you don't need to yell compliments.
All right.
So before we move into our next story, we are going to take a really quick commercial break. And we're back.
I'm going to get into the next email here, and it's titled The Dead Boyfriend Story.
Wow, that is a very intense title.
Yeah. Hey guys, you can call me Q, which I found very funny considering everything that's going on right now.
It's a really bad letter to pick.
It's inappropriate in this day. Well, okay. So before 007 used to his assistant,
quartermaster.
Yes, used to be called Q. So, all right. I've been listening for a couple months now, and I really want to say thank you. Your podcast has helped me through a tough time. Developing anxiety in your mid-30s isn't fun. I think Adam and I are close to the same age. Oddly enough, Scarish has helped me through the trials. I drive an hour to and from work, and you're with me for those 2 hours, not in a creepy way.
Wow.
Hey, someone was watching the live show while taking a bath, so...
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
At all. The only time you gotta start worrying about it is if, like, you're dimming the lights, you're turning the candles on, you're like, lay down, baby, I'll make the mood extra special. And you put us on. That's weird. Unless they're like... Let's fucking do it now. Like, I am jacked when they hear the intro music.
Oh, God.
I don't think there's anyone out there like that.
No, stop it. This is getting weird. Okay. I feel like I know you guys after all these hours of listening time, and you make me laugh and smile again. Not in a creepy way. I even became a patron because I really do love and appreciate both of you. Aw, thank you.
We appreciate it so much.
I finally decided to share one of my many, and I mean many, encounters with the paranormal, which honestly, I don't even know what I believe in, but I can tell you my personal true story experiences, and you can judge for yourself. The following happened when I was straight out of high school and had been dating my then boyfriend for a few months. I woke up on this particular day and had this god-awful feeling. That bad feeling that lingers, like you know something is just not right. I almost posted on MySpace. Oh my gosh, MySpace.
Remember MySpace?
Yes. Yep.
You had to pick your top 8 friends. That was so much fun ranking everyone.
So I almost posted on my MySpace, everyone stays safe today, because of this ominous feeling that I couldn't shake. Yes, I am MySpace old. It's okay. We are too.
Yeah,
I spent so much time on my MySpace. I even did changed all the HTML. I had special, you know how you have your top 8, right?
Yeah.
You can, I did special pictures for my top 8 and made them nice, and you could edit everything about your MySpace page and make it very personal. And I did that. And so I had a really cute little top 8 area and chose the pictures that I wanted on there and had them my specific shape and border and all that. It was just, I spent way too much time on my MySpace page.
And
anyway.
Now we all spend way too much time on Facebook.
Yeah, so. But I don't spend that much time on HTML.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to spend so much time, I want sparkles on my page or I want music on my page. You know what I mean? I spent way too much time.
And they wound up just building those things into it. All right.
All right. Anyway. I should have done it because then you wouldn't be able to say I'm full of shit. We aren't anyway. Anywho, There were some odd events leading up to what happened that night that I would call a premonition of sorts, but adding that part would make this even longer than it already is. So here we go. This summer evening, the boyfriend and I left our friend's house, and I handed him his helmet out of his car, gave him a kiss, and told him to stay behind me. Deer are thick here. Like back where you lived, right? Where they just kind of run across the road.
Right.
I was driving his car, and he was on his street bike. He, of course, did not listen and passed me on our way out of town. Within a minute of him passing me, his taillights disappeared, and I saw a cloud of smoke from the curve in the road he unfortunately missed. He had gone off a steep embankment and crashed. Very long story made very short. I was all alone with my dead boyfriend waiting for help. That is absolutely terrifying and awful, and I can't even imagine being in that situation.
Right.
Now to the aftermath. His mom asked me to compile funeral music, which was hard, especially because the week before he died, we were sitting in his car as he had told me, "If I ever die, play the dance at my funeral." True story. So here I am on my bed crying while burning a CD. I'm old, I know. When my bed sinks in, like someone sat down next to me. The comforter sank in as well, like the whole corner of the bed sunk down, like someone had sat down on it. That's so, I mean, crazy that, because lots of people experience stuff like that.
I was going to say, we've gotten a lot of emails like that.
I freaked out a little, not gonna lie, snapped me right out of the depressed crying person I formerly was. Then, following his funeral, I brought home some of his belongings his mom had given to me and a sash from the funeral flowers that read friend. I arranged them in a little shrine on my windowsill and wrapped the sash around a bottle of his favorite liquor. He was old enough to drink, by the way, so obviously 21.
Right, at least.
And so don't get weird, people. I came home one day, walked into my bedroom, and the first thing I see is the sash had magically moved from the bottle and was now wrapped around his hat that I had placed in the shrine. Like, what the fuck? I lived by myself. Nobody broke in and moved it, just saying. Months later, I had a roommate move in, and he had a wiener dog, dachshund, if you folks didn't know. I was getting ready for work, and the weenie was in my room, so I kicked him out nicely, closed the door, and went to shower. Master bedroom, bathroom is connected to the bedroom. For reference. Okay, so they have like an ensuite.
Right.
Walked out of the bathroom. The weenie is standing there staring at me. I kicked him out again. Made sure the door was definitely closed this time. Walked into my closet, came out, and the dog was standing there, staring at me. That was a nope moment. My roommate wasn't home, by the way. I mean, it could have been a ghost opening your door. Or a really perverted dog. Or really smart dog.
Yeah, I was saying not minding his own business.
But if you're making sure the door is closed, like you hear the click of the thing, it's not like the dog just pushed the door open. And it's a wiener dog. It's a little dachshund. So it's like, there's no way they're tall enough to pull the handle.
Yeah, it's definitely very odd.
And that's assuming that it's one of those handles that you can pull and push. All right, there were a slew of events after that. I thought someone had broken in one night. It sounded like someone was stealing all of the stuff out in the main part of the house. Why I didn't think to call 911 in that moment, I don't know. Guns is why, probably. Locked and loaded. It was so loud, though, and you could hear footsteps on the hardwood. No roommate at that time. All by myself. Another instance, years later, I was in bed with a friend, quote-unquote friend, watching a movie when the comforter was tugged from the end of the bed, enough to visibly see it move. And then my dog walked to the end of the bed and stood up on her hind legs. She does that. Facing away from us like someone was talking to her. My quote-unquote friend had a oh hell no moment, and I said, "Told you shit happens around here. It's just Kay, ghost boyfriend, messing around trying to scare you." Because by then, the creepy happenings were totally normal for me. I didn't even flinch. He was freaked out, though. My house was brand spanking new when I bought it. No other person had lived there before. I bought it my senior year of high school as an investment. That's impressive.
That's awesome.
I had $0 when I graduated high school.
I know one person who did that, and they made a lot of money off of their house.
Oh, is that Lucas?
No.
Oh, okay.
Lucas got his later on. It's Jansen.
Oh, nice. Yeah. No, it's not on an Indian burial ground or anything of that nature. There was so much that went on in that house, though, and those are just the cliff notes. Side rant to freak Robin out, oh god. As you walked out of my bedroom, there was a hall that went down to 2 other bedrooms and a bathroom. That was the hell no hall. I lived there by myself the majority of the time I owned the place, and that was a nope for me. Get dusty and nasty. I'm not going down there to clean you. That's fucking funny. It gave me the icks, and for no reason at all, it just creeped me out. Sometimes there are places that just do that. Where you're like, nope, bad energy down that way. A lot of memories down road. Back on topic, I think over time, it was almost comforting to have him around. It probably helped me cope with his passing, to be honest. I feel like it's a ritual at this point to apologize for the long story. So sorry for the long story. No, I think it's interesting, and I think that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'll send more, and I'll refrain from making them so damn long. Hate you guys with love, of course. Keep on creeping on, Q. Thank you so much for sending that in. That's a really rough thing to go through, especially when you're so young. And then you're out there in the middle of the road by yourself, it's just, I'd have so much PTSD.
Yeah, that would be I can't imagine going through that. I had a friend who got into a car accident. His girlfriend was following him, and he was okay. He wound up being okay. They had to use the jaws of life to cut him out of his car. But I remember getting a terrible feeling. I think I've talked about this on the show before. And I say that because it's like, for anyone who's listened to the episodes, like, intently, they'd be like, he's talked about this already. But for a lot of people I know, it's like, you might forget as well. But yeah, I had a friend who got into an accident, and there was one night I was working in my mom's office, and my mom's office had a view of a road. And I just had this really bad feeling like something bad was going to happen that day. And randomly I saw, like, lights, like, on the road that intersected with the road I lived on, which was about like a mile or two away. And I was like, that looks like an accident. And it's like around a really weird spot. It wasn't near the intersection. It was just along this road. And immediately I was like, I know someone who's in that wreck. I just knew it. I knew there was something very wrong. And I literally went to my dad and was like, hey, where's the camera? Like the camcorder. And, he gave it to me. I charged the battery, and then I drove down the road and I turned on the camera because it had the best zoom out of anything in the house. So I could zoom in because I had the road blocked off because the wreck was so bad, to see if I could recognize the car, and I couldn't. So I was like, you're being crazy. Like, just go home, stop being stupid. I put everything away. And then like 20 minutes later, my friend's girlfriend shows up at my doorstep, and her face is covered in blood because his hand got cut, and his hand was just covered in blood. And he reached through the window like, it's okay, babe. Like, she was fucking Saruman blessing that stupid horse. Oh, God. So she shows up at my house like, Urukai. So and the first thing I said was like, that was John, wasn't it? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'll follow you to the hospital. And she was like, please drive slow. Cause it was one of those nights where it just rained all day. The sun went down. All the water froze on the roads, and it was just nothing but a giant sheet of ice covering the entire area. So, like, something like that is terrifying. And I can't imagine what it would have been like if she would have shown up at my doorstep and been like, John's dead. So I can't imagine what you went through, but thank you so much for being strong enough to get through it and to share it with us. And I'm sure that'll help someone that's going through something similar, and hopefully not as rough, but we do appreciate it. And we do want to hear the rest of your stories. You gave us the Cliff Notes version. We want to hear the full length version. So don't ever feel bad for sending us a long story. Really, seriously, just send them. So thank you one more time. All right. So I'm going to move into the final email of the show. And this one's subject is, I think my dog can see spirits. Feel free to read on the podcast.
I think a lot of animals can see spirits.
I agree.
Because, I mean, sometimes, like, our Sheba the other day was staring in the corner, and all of us were hanging out in the living room, and she was staring at something else.
Yeah.
We don't know what it was. She was staring at it.
Robin had things that were in the corner of her eye the other day, and she's a goddamn animal, so that would make sense too.
Thanks. We were talking about it last night, how I was just like, do you guys see shadows or things move from the corner of your eye? And his mom immediately goes like, yep.
I was like, that's fucked up.
And then she was saying, when you get older, you start getting floaters in your eyes, and then you don't know which is which.
I was like, so you can't you can't distinguish the difference between demon and old age. Like, that sucks. So.
Yeah. So, because sometimes I'll be doing something, and I swear I see something like dart out of this, but like the corner of my eye. I feel like I see something move when I turn or stuff like that, and I'm just like,
that's why I have this protection from evil charm that I hang on my microphone. So you should have gotten one too. Got it in Japan.
Nope, I got one so that I could pass school.
Yeah, she got one specifically for passing classes. So, all right. I'm going to actually start the email, since all we got through was the subject before we tangentialized. Starts out like this. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Y'all are included in that, so everyone yell hey wherever you're at. Sorry in advance if this is a bit lengthy. Also, I am a horrible writer, so bear with me. All right, put on your bear gloves. So, I'm pretty sure my dog Max can see spirits. Multiple events have happened for me to believe this, but this one is the most memorable, and I just so happened to capture it on video. In parentheses, I'm attaching the videos at the bottom of this email for y'all to watch. I have already watched these, so I will continue with the email. Alrighty. It's the summer of 2019. I moved back in with my parents because I just finished my first year at college. That's why my room is a cluttered mess. You don't need to explain why your room's a cluttered mess.
We are grown adults and are still living in a cluttered mess in our room.
It's sometimes an arranged mess, and sometimes it's a cluttered mess.
Right now, there's laundry that probably spans 4 feet across the floor.
No, it's like 3.9 feet at most. Email continues, my 2 dogs, Max and Piper, were in my room for the night. It was around midnight. My parents were asleep in their room across the house. I was playing Xbox with a friend who I'm talking to through the mic, and I had my bags packed and laying next to my dresser because I was going out of town the next day. I had just finished a game on Xbox, still on the mic with my friend, and he and I both heard Max growling. He was laying at the foot of my bed, staring in the direction of my dresser, which was in the corner of my room. I tried calming him down, giving him pets, and picking him up, but he was not having it, and went back to growling at my corner.
That's scary.
I thought it was a bit off, but my other dog was just looking and didn't seem on edge.
I mean, okay. So one dog saw it and the other one didn't. Sometimes.
That's better.
Yeah, fuck. One of our dogs growls at every little thing. And it could just, like, she hates skateboarders. Mm-hmm. So if she hears a skateboard going down the sidewalk, she loses her shit.
So you know sidewalks are like concrete blocks and they have like that little divot?
Yeah.
The sound, I'm letting them know.
Oh.
The sound of like the wheels of a skateboard like, going over those. She's like, trigger!
Yeah.
And she loses her shit every time.
So maybe it's something that bothers one dog and not the other.
Right.
Because our Shiba really doesn't bark it too much.
Shiba hates bags. Like when you open a garbage
trash bags,
bag,
yep.
like flood your garbage bag to get some air in it.
Someone asked us if we had ever put her in a trash bag, and that's why she hated that. And why would I put my dog in a trash bag?
It's like, no,
bro,
we have not. Like, she just hates that noise, and she loses her fucking mind when that happens. So I wonder what the case will be, but we have more of this email, so we'll keep going. This is when I took a video of him to send to my friend. The video is exactly as the writer describes. The dog starts growling and is just looking at the dresser for some reason, and the other dog is just sitting there like, I don't know what the fuck that dog's problem is, but I'm just chilling out. So, goes on to say, when I pulled out my phone, you could see Max turn and look at me and then quickly snap his head back and hold eye contact with someone or something. He growled for a few seconds longer. My other dog was still unbothered, and then Max just sits himself up, still staring at something I cannot see. When he pushed himself up... That's pretty
intense, like getting real into it now.
When he pushed himself up, his head followed something to the left,
no.
as if someone had walked from the corner of my room towards the foot of the bed where Max was laying. Nope. I will say when I watch this, it looks like if someone were to like walk up to the bed, like how a dog's like head goes back and they sit down, naturally how their head follows, like tracks up, and it makes them sit down. Like, that's what this dog does.
Shut the fuck up.
It 100% does that. This is where the video stops. No,
shut up.
And I attached a second one.
Oh my God.
Do you want to watch it?
No, I don't know. I don't want to get scared. I'm sorry.
At this point, Max had been steadily growling for a few minutes, but it was just like a puppy growl. It wasn't very aggressive. He then gets up and is on all fours, hunched like he is about to pounce, and his growling gets defensive. What's funny about that is when this happens in the video, I thought to myself, like, when our dogs shift into defensive mode, the other dog activates, you know? And sometimes, like, they'll start fighting with each other. And now I'll keep reading. Right when he is about to pounce, my other dog, who thought I was unaware, had jumped off the bed right where Max had been staring, and it was like whatever was there vanished. So the second dog jumps off the bed, like it saw the same fucking thing.
He's just like, nah, fuck you.
Yeah. Max jumps off the bed as well, and they're both sniffing around the little area in a circle like someone was there but had just left.
Wow.
Now, I know my dogs. I love them like my own kids, and I know they are protective of me. Max has had several incidents of growling at empty corners, especially at night, but this one was just strange. I truly believe he saw someone that night. I have lots of loved ones who have passed. I'd like to think it was just a kind spirit checking in, but who knows? The
idea that the dog like started tilting their head up to look at it.
That was the creepiest part when I watched it. I was like, yep, that looks like someone just walked up to the bed and then no one comes in the frame.
Oh man, dude, I would get so frickin' scared.
It finishes out with, anyways, I love y'all and the podcast. They always make my day. Keep it up. Cheers from Texas A&M, Alexa.
Texas A&M, go Aggies.
Go Aggies, indeed.
My sister literally has like a big Texas A&M blanket because she just was like, I'm going to be an Aggie when I graduate high school. She was like, no, I don't. I'm super scared.
I'm going to play the first video for Robin.
Okay. Oh, that dog sees something, dude. The dog sees something, man. Fuck that. Nope. No.
Pretty good shit.
I'm gonna say this is a big old fucking nope. If it's something that your dog is like, nope, I'm sitting up, fuck this. You know what I mean? Where they're like, I'm going to get ready to jump if I have to.
Shit just got real.
That's scary.
So thank you so much, Alexa, one more time for sending that in. We appreciate it. So I want to thank everyone who sent in their stories this week. It means a lot to us that you trust us to read these things because some of them are deeply personal, and we sincerely appreciate you sharing it.
I mean, this episode had
there's a lot of stuff this episode. So if you have a story you would like to share, please email storytime@scarish.com or go to our website, scarish.com, and click on Contact Us. That form does come directly to us, so if you want to share it and that is better for you, that works for us. You can also hit us up on any of our social medias. Facebook is facebook.com/scarishpodcast. Twitter is @scarishpod. And Instagram is @scarishpodcast. Robin, if folks would like to donate to us, how could they do so?
You can go to patreon.com/scarishpodcast. And tiers start at $1. At $1, you get ad-free episode access, which is awesome. And at higher up tiers, there's like physical merch tiers. There's like little goodie where we send you maybe like a Christmas card or something cute like that. There's that kind of stuff. I've designed a bunch of stuff for this year that are going out to patrons at the physical merch tiers. I've posted some stuff on Instagram that you can check out if you guys want. But if you don't like the whole monthly subscription type service, you can also do one-time donations at ko-fi.com/scarishpodcast. And those are one-time donations. All your donations go to helping us upgrade our studio setup and just keep us able to keep making stuff for you folks that I don't know, it's fun. We love doing what we do.
Indeed. So if you made it this far, which a lot of you don't listen all the way through the end of the episode, I'm going to let you know that next week, starting Wednesday, when we stream the live Storytime episode, we're going to have a goal for me to shave my facial hair into something fucking ridiculous. So if you want to join us and donate, that's another way you can donate to us.
Monkey tail beard.
Monkey tail beard if we hit the goal. So that'll be really, really fun. I'd also like to point out anyone who lasted this long, if you didn't listen all the way through that episode where I had Higher Love stuck in my head, you missed a really good Easter egg, and I realized that a lot of you missed it. So listen all the way through that episode. Go back and check that out. But I think that is just about everything we have for this episode of Storytime with the Scarish Podcast. So Robin, go ahead and sign us out.
Keep on creeping on, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.